on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
Good morning and welcome to another video from the Dominican Republic. We have made our way from Punta Cana to the La Romana area and we are staying at an all-inclusive hotel.
Well, we were very excited coming in here, but yeah, we have some things to show you today. This is not the vacation that we thought it was going to be. You're about to see why. So for those of you that follow week to week, you know we work and travel full time, but you might have heard me say vacation. Our plan was to come here and take an actual vacation and not film a video like this, but we wanted to show you the realities. We came to La Romana for the absolutely epic, beautiful beaches, and well, this is what we got. This is not turquoise water, and there's a reason for that. So first of all, we spend a lot of time in the Dominican Republic. Like, we've been here now for about 2 years between different months. We go home sometimes to Canada, then we come back. We practically live here at this point. So we're kind of used to the weather patterns, but it just so happens that November and December are usually the worst months. I don't know if they have like an official rainy season, but it always rains in November and December.
Yeah, November and December are always the worst months, but from what we understand, this year has been really, really bad. I think it's been pretty much a month of full-on rain. There's been flooding and a whole bunch of like problems across the entire country. So I think this year has been especially bad.
Yeah, and you're probably wondering, like, why is the water brown? Well, what's actually happening is there's tons of mountains in the Dominican Republic.
And rivers.
And rivers. Because of that, the water comes off the mountains, come out through the rivers, and go into the sea. And that's what's happening. There's so much water inland that's coming out. It's actually changing the color of the water. And that is a bummer, to be honest, because we were here for the beach. This is supposed to be a lagoon and a beautiful turquoise color. Well, at least now the sun's trying to come out. This is the first time in a while. We do hope the sun does come out, and we're not going to let the beach, even though it is a disappointment, like, spoil our time here.
To be honest, we're like watching back our footage, making sure everything's working properly and the audio's on and all that stuff. And I feel like even in the footage, the water doesn't look as brown in the camera as it does in real life. So you might be watching and be like, it doesn't look that bad, but honestly, it is quite brown here in person. And I did a lot of research trying to figure out which all-inclusive to go to. So a little bit of background about us. We, like Trevor was just saying, we spend a lot of time here, but we don't spend a lot of time at all-inclusives. We maybe do like one a year. We always try to find one that we like, but so far we haven't really found one that we're in love with. I was hoping that this might be it. And I picked this honestly for the beach. We were just in Punta Cana, we were on Bahia Beach. You can go back and watch that. And there was quite a bit of sargassum, and it was quite wavy the couple of days that we were there. And I was so excited for this beach because it looked like a calm blue lagoon. So if you happen to be watching this video because you already booked here, you're thinking about coming here, and now you're nervous about it, I would say if you're coming here like in the winter months, like January through even like May or June, chances are you're going to be fine. It doesn't usually rain too much in those months unless there's some sort of weird weather system happening. But if you're worried about it, I'd say go onto Google, maybe read the most recent reviews and see what people are saying, and maybe check out the recent pictures, and then you'll get an idea of what it's like at the current time.
That's what we should have did. so we just thought of it. We looked it up when we got here, but hey, good to know. But what else we like about this resort so far? Like, right now we're standing in kind of like a beach part that's next to condos, or I guess people own those,
I think this is a giant complex owned by Bahia Principe, but there's also a residential area. I think it's still like Bahia Principe, but it's where people live too.
Yeah, so because of that, there's some calm areas. If you want to get away from the party area at the pool, and we're going to show you that, don't worry, you can, which is really cool. The other thing is...
And unique, I would say.
It's very unique. The other thing is vendors. There's no vendors down here. Well, the ones that are here, I think, might be designated vendors.
Yeah, so because this is, like all beaches in the Dominican Republic are public, but I think this whole area is basically Bahia Principe, so no one can really access it just because it's blocked off on either end. So it makes the beach super quiet and tranquil. We're just walking along here. It's a really nice walking beach, by the way. We're just walking along here, and all I hear is a little bit of resort noise, but otherwise just the waves, seeing the pelicans, like, it's really lovely.
It's kind of the opposite of Bavaro. In Bavaro, there's a lot of vendors around, you know, it is what it is, but sometimes it can be a little much when they just keep asking you, like, you know, if you want to buy something, you want to buy something.
And you want an excursion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, here you don't get that. Well, the weather is drastically improving, and you guys look at this.
Oh, this makes me so happy. The sun feels so good. So it's probably, we've been in the Dominican Republic, what, like 4 or 5, 6 days, something like that. It's rained most of the time. You've seen a little bit of sun, but it feels amazing. Also, did you see the palm tree behind me that's just showing off?
I know, look, but now you can see the water a little better.
Yeah, so I think maybe now you'll be able to see how brown it is, because I think now that the sun's shining on it, normally it would just be like super turquoise, aqua, beautiful water. It's brown, but it's still honestly stunning.
Now, we're not letting it ruin our day. Plus, I mean, look at that palm tree. That makes for an epic shot, especially if you want to follow us on Instagram.
Oh yeah, if you do want to follow us on Instagram, it's a little bit more up to date. Sometimes we post in the main feed, but we also post stories just so people know where we are in real time, because here on YouTube we can be a little bit behind, so head over there, give us a follow.
So up the other side of the beach here is like a beach club, and we don't know if we have access to it yet, but we thought we'd walk up here because it's really quiet. You can see an infinity pool there, and then this way there's like a little restaurant. So we're just gonna go get the lowdown here because we're staying kind of that way, and it looks like it's not part of the resort. So we're gonna go find out. So we walked inside here. I guess it's not part of the resort, but you can come here and spend money.
Right, yeah, so you could bring a credit card and just spend it here. I'm assuming you can have access to the pool as well. It's a really nice pool.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a nice option. Like, look at this. If you look over this way, you got a nice pool, you got the beach that way. Again, too bad it's brown because you know the backdrop will be totally different.
So I'm not sure if we actually said already that we are staying at the Bahia Principe Luxury Bouganville. I find that a really weird word, I don't know why. This is the adults only side. There are 2 sides to this resort. One is for everybody. This is the adults only side, which is one that we are staying on. We are in the beach area, so lots of loungers and everything here, and then there's the activities pool right behind us, in case you can't hear that.
It's a little loud back there. So you can see the pool area is absolutely beautiful here, but there's a lot of people just hanging around. Right now, I think there's some activities going on. The music was just really, really loud, so we popped over because now I think the guy's giving some instructions before it
Yeah, I
kicks
think
back
they're
in.
doing like an aqua fitness class or something like that. But this is definitely the crazier pool, the busier pool, the louder pool, what we say. And there is another pool which I really appreciate. We'll check that out later.
Yeah. Also, what's here is the jacuzzi area, which is a little more tranquil. That's right next to the busy pool. So yeah, there's lots of different places to go.
Yeah, and one thing I will say I'm really liking about this resort is that it seems like everything's really nicely situated. Like there is a bar by this pool, there's a bar by the little jacuzzi area, which is right next door. The bathrooms are very central. At other all-inclusives we've been at, one thing we kind of complained about was that sometimes you literally have to walk for 10 minutes to find bathrooms, and that just encourages people to pee in the pool, which is not okay, kids.
Here's a survey. Leave a comment below. Do you pee in the pool? Be honest. Be honest. You better not pee in the pool. So a lot of you know this, but we travel full time. We're not just on vacation. We work for ourselves. If you're wondering how we got to work for ourselves and travel full time and make videos, you can go to our website and we answer all the questions there. But one thing we keep talking about is like we feel bad for all the people that are here for 1 week, because even though right now the sun has come out, this is the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and I know a lot of times when we say anything negative about like anything really, if we say the weather's been bad, blah, 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 people say, oh, you stop complaining. Honestly, most of the time I'm doing it on behalf of other people. I'm saying, oh, it's too bad the weather's been so rainy, because some people are only here for 1 week, and if you get a full week of rain, like what a disappointment. They're spending a couple $1,000s probably to be here, and then they don't really get to enjoy it. Like, so for us, it's not the end of the world. No. We are going to be spending many, many months here. We're going to get lots of time in the sun and on the beach, so it's not the end of the world.
But the last 3 days, like, it's been full on rain, you guys, and everyone's just sitting in the chairs under the umbrellas trying to make the most of it. But let's be honest, it still sucks. Yeah. It is what it is, but if you're paying all this money to come down here on vacation, you got 2-3 weeks vacation a year, and this is what happens?
Yeah. But thank God the sun is out now.
I know, thankfully it's sunny.
Welcome to our room. We figured we'd give you a quick little room tour. We are staying like at the basic room, a junior suite, I think they might call them. So we don't have like a view of anything, it's like a garden view. But it's a really nice room. I'm quite impressed with just, this is what you get when you initially book. Great big king size bed. And people will laugh because every single video when we do a room tour, I'm like, what size bed is this? This one, I can tell you, is a monstrous size. It's huge. It's like the biggest bed that ever existed.
We got a TV over this side as well.
So you can watch TV from bed. You also have like all the mini bar stuff over here. So like coffee, water, and then down here is a fridge that they keep stocked with like sodas, I think there's Pepsi in there, there's a couple beers and some more water, so that's great.
Over this way we got kind of a little desk, which I like. You don't always get that in a resort. You have a table, it's just loaded up with all our camera gear. And speaking of loaded up with stuff.
Yeah, you have a sofa area over here which has all of my stuff that my suitcase exploded, in case you were wondering. You also, I love this, you get robes while you're here, and people might laugh at me, but I find something so like luxurious about having a robe in a hotel room. I love it. It's like an extra little thing that I really, really enjoy.
Let's take you guys outside because I know you're gonna want to see the patio. So it's actually pretty big patio here. I mean, there's not a lot on it though. Look at this, you got 2 chairs. It's about all you need. There's an ashtray in case you smoke. We do not smoke cigarettes. Got a little view here though. Yeah, so you'll get a good shot here of the other buildings. Now there is this way, if you guys can see way up there, there's kind of the quieter pool. So we're gonna take you to that quiet pool in a little while, like a little later in the video, so stay tuned, but I know you're gonna wanna see the bathroom.
So towards the front of the room here is the bathroom, a really huge bathroom by the way. And on one side you have like a big shower, walk-in rainfall shower head, really nice shower, and then water closet next to it with its own little door. And behind me, you probably see Trevor in the camera,
hey guys.
or in the mirror. You have like a big sink area, two different sinks, so again, lots of space. And then on this side you have a jacuzzi tub, which is a nice little touch. There is a mirror that looks into the bedroom, but they have it blocked off, which is nice.
Well, next up, we decided to come over and get some lunch here at the buffet. There is so much food in this place. I honestly cannot believe it, and it smells absolutely incredible. How do you decide? That's probably what you're thinking. So what I went for, they were grilling some like pork kind of kebabs, and we were recently in Greece, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I want to get these. Also got like a salad with a spinach, Spanish vinaigrette they called it, some veggies and rice, and got some mushrooms, but really I want to see what these guys are like. I'll try it really quick. Nice and hot. All right. Okay. Well, I thought this would be extra chewy. This is delicious. Well, definitely a pro tip if you're coming to a resort and hitting up a buffet, always go to where like the chefs are. There was a whole bunch of them, and yeah, did not go wrong here. They had like a fish as well, and I think there was some chicken, also this pork. Then there's a whole bunch of other stations too, but yeah, I think I went right with this, and we'll see what the rest of the meal's like.
I always have the hardest time in buffets, mainly because there's so much stuff that I don't plan accordingly, and I end up with a mishmash of random things on my plate that really don't go together. But today I did a lot better. I went in with a plan, so I decided to go for some stuff that makes a sandwich, which they don't really have together, but if you plan properly, you can do it. So I grabbed some bread at the bread station, then I went over to like the cheese and meat station and grabbed some cold cuts, then I happened to find some mustard, then I happened to find some veggies, so I brought it all back to the table and formed a sandwich that I think looks pretty good. It's got some ham, some salami, lettuce, onions, and tomato, cheese. It's like, and mustard on there, so I think that's gonna be pretty good. And then on here, they had some gazpacho, which is like a cold Spanish soup. And so they had that in one pot, and then all around it, they had these different veggies. So I put some tomatoes, some cucumbers, some onion, and then some croutons on the top. Let's actually start with this guy. I've been sitting here as Trevor talked about his food, so it's been sitting here a while, but thankfully I don't need to worry about it getting cold because it already is. Haha. That's good. You gotta love a gazpacho in hot weather. It's like the perfect soup. I know if you've never had it before, a cold soup just sounds so strange. It's basically like a cold tomato soup, but it's so good with the little fresh veggies in there. It adds a little bit of crunch to it, and totally digging that. How's the sandwich? This is my makeshift sandwich. They certainly don't have this as one of the things that you can get here at the buffet, but you can make it work. One thing I was worried about was that the bread might be sitting around for a while and be kind of stale, but it's nice and fresh. I actually thought for a second maybe I should toast it just in case, but I'm glad I didn't because it's really good. I'm actually really proud of myself for putting this together when it's, like I said, not really an option, but if you just think about all the ingredients that are there, you can make something yourself. And yeah, I think I did a pretty good job putting together a nice little lunch here. Well, we have just come over to the quiet pool, and I have to tell you how much that I appreciate that this is here. I know a lot of resorts have quiet pools, but often they're literally right beside the loud pool, or they're off in the middle of nowhere with no amenities, no bars, no bathrooms. You have to walk ages to get anything, and this one is absolutely perfect because it has everything and it's super quiet. There's no loud music. Everyone's super chill and super quiet. I definitely love this. But just coming off of lunch, maybe you guys might be wondering about what the restaurants are like here and what the options are. So there are of course buffets for both breakfast, lunch, and of course dinner. There's a buffet option as well. At dinner time, there's also a couple of a la carte restaurants here on the adults only side. There is an Asian restaurant, there is also I think a steak restaurant and maybe a gourmet restaurant, and then we also have access to everything on the other side as well. And they have a bunch of restaurants over there. I'm not sure of the full list, but there is an Italian one, I know that one for sure.
So even though it is a quiet pool, it's actually pretty busy today. And I think it's busy because of the beach. The beach is brown, as we showed you guys, so I think a lot of the beach people, like us, we were coming here for the beach. Well, they're at the pool, but still, at least it's not that busy. But we do want to bring up the whole claiming of chairs thing. It's part of the resort game. Like, what do you do, right? Like, you have to come out. A lot of people do this, claim chairs early in the morning. But what a lot of people seem to do now is like keep them all day. We paid attention this morning, and some of the chairs are still claimed with no one at them. There's like one book, and a lot of people are walking around looking for chairs because the place is at almost full capacity. So that's kind of unfair, guys. I hope on the other end you're watching, you're not one of those people that are kind of claiming chairs and not using them at all. But oh my God, you can probably tell I'm dripping in sweat right now. It's like 30 degrees outside and it's super humid today. So we weren't ready for this. We thought it was going to be full on clouds when we woke up. All right, this is what I call service.
The best service. And a cerveza para ti.
Did you get this at the pool bar?
I did. So all-inclusive swim-up bar. I don't think it gets any better than that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, it's a little bit later, and welcome to the lobby. This is a great place to come and hang out. They literally have everything here. And it's a really gorgeous building, in case you can't tell. Like high ceilings, chandeliers, plants all over the place.
Of course, they got the typical real estate thing here. It's something, well, a lot of the people that watch us week to week, they ask us, are we going to buy in the Dominican Republic? And I'm sure you guys that clicked on the video and you don't know who we are, we sold everything we own back in Canada, so we are thinking about it. It's something we keep thinking about it. We toss around the idea, but we're not sure. We don't know what we're going to do.
I can barely hear you. Talking about buying a place?
Maybe buying a place at some point. I don't know, but there's lots of real estate for sale, that's for sure, and this country is big. There's a lot of different towns, not just here, not just Punta Cana.
We have just come over to the bar for a pre-dinner drink, or might we say a happy hour drink, although I gotta love being all-inclusive. You don't need to worry about happy hour because it's literally all included. Speaking of that, one thing I've been really impressed with about this resort is the alcohols that are included, like that aren't extra prices, not top shelf, are really good. And maybe we've been to other resorts before and maybe I've just not been paying attention, but this time I actually looked at the list and it was stuff like Tanqueray gin and Smirnoff vodka, and in my head I kind of just assumed that it would just be like the basic kind of house alcohols that we probably never even heard of and maybe are slightly shady. Trevor even got a bourbon last night, which I don't know, I was just really impressed with that. Also today, went for a Bloody Caesar, and for those of you not familiar that are not Canadian, this is basically like a Canadian version of a Bloody Mary, a better version of a Bloody Mary. It's so good. Before we left our room, we actually sprayed up with bug spray. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to ask, like, how are the mosquitoes there? Just be warned, they're not great. You're gonna get bitten, so we always literally douse ourselves in mosquito spray before we come out. And we only usually go for like the green off stuff that's like got the DEET in it. That's a warning for you guys. Definitely bring some with you.
It's funny, on topic of mosquitoes, I like sprayed my legs today and I was like all like, yeah, I'm not gonna get any bites, and then I totally forgot to spray my arms because I have like a short sleeve shirt on. I was like, what's gonna bite me? Well, I got like 3 or 4 bites just sitting in the lobby, so wear your repellent, kids. But one thing we could talk about right now, and I know you guys are going to be interested in, is airports. Like, how do you get here? So we're in La Romana. There's an airport here. It's about a 25-ish, 30-minute drive to the airport, which is pretty fantastic when you think about it. So it's a quick drive. You land, you're here. Also, there's Santo Domingo. That's like close to an hour from here, so you can also fly into there. That's also not that bad. Most people are used to that kind of driving time when you land to get to a resort. And there's even one more. You got Punta Cana, which is just over an hour, so not that far. You have 3 major airports here in the DR. It's something I never really thought about with La Romana, where we spend all our time up in the north in Cabarete. Like, the main airport's Puerto Plata. There's the Santiago airport. It's sort of a main hub, but not like there's not a lot of flights that come in from the US, especially Canada. So we're a bit more limited up there. Like, we have mostly come to Santo Domingo, but here you got all the options. So if you're coming down for vacation, you can get here really fast.
You also might be wondering, if you're coming here and staying on the adults only side, do I have access to the family side, the other side? And yes, of course you do. I think if you're on the family side, you can't necessarily come over to this side. Maybe if you're an adult, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, you can definitely go over to the family side. I'm assuming you can go to the pools. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but maybe there's a reason. Because all the entertainment and stuff is over there, and there's more restaurants as well. So you get access to all of that. Another thing I really am liking about this resort is the size of it. So last year we were at the Bahia Principe in Punta Cana. We stayed at the adults only side. I think it was called Aquamarine maybe. And it was a massive, massive complex. There were like 5 or 6 different resorts on one thing that you could basically go to all of them. So it was a little overwhelming. You had to, wait for like the buses and try to figure out how to get from one place to another. So it was a little confusing. Here it's nice and small. Literally walk everywhere. Nothing feels too far. If we wanted to go to the beach right now, it's like a 3-minute walk.
Well, next up we went over to an Asian restaurant here on the resort, and all of this food was so good. There's so many options to choose from, and yeah, we're eating a lot here.
Definitely eating a lot of good things. I wouldn't say I've had anything that I'm like gonna remember the rest of my life. Like it's nothing crazy good, but I haven't had anything really bad either. It's just like really good, like good. It's good. It's not great. It's good.
Solid food. All of the Asian dishes at this place were exceptional. The service though is awesome.
The service has been really good. Better than probably any all-inclusive we have been to in the Dominican Republic. I would say like we've had a couple misses at maybe at
the buffets.
At the buffets, just getting drinks. We've had to ask probably 4 times for drinks at them, but otherwise at the bars and at the restaurants, really great service.
The bars are so fun to sit at. All the bartenders want to know where you're from and all of those things.
They're great.
We love it. Also, just in case you're wondering, good Wi-Fi at this resort, right?
Yes, that's the other thing. Last year we went and stayed at the Punta Cana, or the Bahia Principe in Punta Cana, and we actually upgraded we paid extra like for the Wi-Fi, and it wasn't any better than the general Wi-Fi. So don't do that.
That
Just
was a waste of money.
stick with the general Wi-Fi, and it's fine.
So we should probably talk about price as well. Do you remember the price?
I think it was around 90 US per person per night or per day.
That's pretty good when you think about like 3 meals, unlimited alcohol if that's your thing, or whatever the shtick is. Like that's not too bad at all.
Yeah, and then of course your accommodation.
Yeah, I can't go wrong. I would recommend that you guys would come here. We're having a great time. We have had a few drinks today. You'll probably tell because it's part of the experience, but it's so much fun. But we started out this video today just talking about like, disappointment, and rightfully so. We want to show you guys the realities of travel, and this is it, right? Like the beach is brown.
Yeah. Sometimes you come in with an expectation, it doesn't happen, you have to like just refocus. And
we still feel bad for everyone that's here, but this is the thing. I know a lot of you guys on the other end will say like, well, you're still in paradise, like don't complain. We're not complaining, it's just the thing is the beach is not supposed to be brown. So it is a big thing. A lot of people come for the beach. Not everyone wants to go to the pool, and a lot of people are at the pool because they can't go to the beach. A bit of a bummer, but hey, it's the realities of travel. Maybe just look up rainy seasons in any country you're going to, but we still had fun. Like make the best of it that you possibly can.
Yeah,
right?
we're having a great time.
Good pools, good food, good scenery,
good people,
good Dominicans. But next up we are heading to Santo Domingo. You guys might be wondering. Then we go up north to Cabarete where we're gonna live. So if you're new around here and you're, like, what the heck, you guys are gonna live there? Yeah, there's more to the DR than just Punta Cana and La Romana and Santo Domingo. We're going up north, and you guys might want to follow along. Everyone that knows the drill and that do follow along, you guys know what's coming next.
You're probably excited.
It's gonna be so much fun.
All right, guys, that's it.
From La Romana, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.